The 2005 adaptation of a beloved Jane Austen novel celebrated its 20th anniversary this year, but for anyone who missed out on its theatrical re-release, the movie is still available to stream on Netflix for a few more days. The popularity of Austen's Pride and Prejudice has led to several adaptations over the years, mostly through TV series and movies. Though many adaptations do an agreeable job of expanding on Austen's original story, Joe Wright's 2005 film and the 1995 BBC miniseries are widely considered the best movie and show, respectively. The 1995 miniseries, starring Jennifer Ehle and Colin Firth, is praised by Austen fans for remaining faithful to the author's novel, but it's Wright and screenwriter Deborah Mogaca's slightly modernized revisions to the story that make the 2005 film so beloved. Wright's film stars Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Bennet and Matthew Macfadyen as Mr. Darcy, with supporting performances by Donald Sutherland, Judi Dench, Brenda Blethyn, and more. The love for Pride and Prejudice has only grown stronger since the early 2000s, as evident in its successful 20th anniversary re-release and continuous impassioned conversations among fans of the film. Pride and Prejudice recently returned to theaters, and is on Netflix now. Pride and Prejudice's re-release was a massive success, showcasing the movie's enduring popularity. Theatrical re-releases of classic movies aren't uncommon, and passionate audiences often show up to the theaters to experience their favorite film on the big screen. Depending on the movie, anniversary re-releases can be a big event, which was certainly the case for Pride and Prejudice. During its opening weekend in April, Pride and Prejudice opened at number 6, beating out newer releases like Snow White and Drop, via Box Office Mojo. Despite being accessible to stream or purchase online, audiences made sure to show up at theaters for Pride and Prejudice, demonstrating just how beloved a film it is. However, for those who were unable to see Pride and Prejudice in theaters during its short 2025 run, the film is still available to stream on Netflix until the end of the month. Whether one wishes to relive the swoon-worthy love story between Elizabeth and Darcy and all of their shared moments of desire, or to experience it for the first time, Pride and Prejudice is a must-watch film for any romance fan. Pride and Prejudice is the kind of enchanting, yet incredibly grounded romance movie that isn't as common anymore, but made quite an impression in the 2000s. Pride and Prejudice is one of the best romance movies of the 2000s. Wright and Mogac inject a modern sensibility into Austen's timeless novel. Elizabeth and Darcy forehead touch in Pride and Prejudice. As evident in its successful theatrical re-release, Pride and Prejudice is widely considered to be one of the best romance movies of the 2000s. The differences between Austen's Pride and Prejudice and Wright's film risk disappointing fans of the 1813 novel, but the performances and technical achievements of the latter help win them over. Despite taking a handful of creative liberties with Pride and Prejudice's dialogue and characterization of its main characters, Wright and Mogac effectively adapt Austen's novel for modern audiences without ever sacrificing the story's fundamental wit and romance. Dario Marianelli's score is breathtaking and establishes a dreamlike atmosphere throughout the movie that amplifies the nostalgia of the 18th century setting, while simultaneously being grounded by Wright and Mogac's aim for realism. Wright's modern filmmaking techniques aimed at younger audiences, combined with the romanticized qualities of heritage films, were new at the time of Pride and Prejudice's release, making the film a breath of fresh air beyond its revisions to Austen's story. Additionally, Wright provides further insight into the lives of the characters surrounding Elizabeth and Darcy, adding far more weight and personality to the world on screen, making it easy for audiences to find a greater meaning to the film beyond its central love story. Of course, the story between Elizabeth and Darcy is what's turned Pride and Prejudice into a fan-favorite romance movie, and Knightley and Macfadyen are delightful in their roles. The characterization of Knightley and Macfadyen's characters also differs from Austen's novel. Knightley's Elizabeth isn't without her vulnerability, but is much more feisty than Austen's writing makes her out to be, and though the pride of Macfadyen's Darcy remains intact, there is a more noticeable sensitivity within the character. Knightley and Macfadyen's chemistry is unmatched, and they do an excellent job of bringing Pride and Prejudice's modern sensibility to life, introducing a new generation to Austen's work and creating a timeless romance film in the process.